Okay, hello and welcome to the second episode of All-in-One, the modded one block series. So, for this particular episode, what we're gonna do is we need to first start off by harvesting some wood, which thankfully I've been planting a bunch of trees because we needed a lot of wood for just continuing to build and stuff. I also got a bunch of cobble, as you can see. We got a bunch of gravel from that using the mills because we can just use the mills to get free gravel infinitely by just chucking cobble in there. And we've got a bunch of grass. We've got the farm started over there. Started harvesting some of it, and essentially we'll just be able to go through with that to be sustainable for now. But the other things that we do want to do are actually in the quests, because we don't just want to build an encased fan and go that route for getting a bunch of iron. Apparently, there's an easier way. And what I mean by that is there's actually a very specific thing from at X nihilo. What's it called? It's in here. The one block ex nihilo generator. So from one block, we've got the placement blocks, we've got graves, we've got the maker, the remover, then we've got the generator. So we need that. We need Gaia's spirit for it, which is interesting because I don't know how we're gonna get Gaia's spirit right now, because that is a later game thing unless I break this, which is unfortunate. I may have to do it. So, oh, we get one for getting 4 iron, so we need 22 iron. We need an iron pickaxe, and we need a mana lens, which the mana lens... Is there a way to get that? What? Did we get a mana lens for something? Actually, it's looking like we are going to need to make the encased fan anyway, which is unfortunate because this is gonna be very interesting. We need a damaging mana lens, which we need a rune of wrath, which means that we need to either do an entire another quest to get that or something else, which is very interesting. But looks like we just need to go back to mining, and let's just claim all of the rewards real quick because we're definitely gonna get something that will be helpful. But again, we're gonna get a bunch of stuff that's just gonna fill up our inventory as well. So we just gotta make sure that we're keeping everything relatively where it needs to be. We got a botany pot, which I also got the materials for us to make a couple more botany pots, which was part of my goal for in between episodes. So what we're gonna do is we're going to just quickly make ourselves some flower pots, and then make ourselves those into hopping botany pots, because we want the hopping variety so that we don't have to do certain things. We're also going to place down most of these ores because they're not particularly useful just as they are. As you can see, I also got a couple more of the andesite alloy, which is quite nice. So we won't really have to worry a ton about that, which is great. And I don't know if you guys also saw, but I made an entirely new pickaxe. So, and a mattock, as well as a sword. So the katana, it's a katana. The mattock is just a mattock. It's like a hoe axe hybrid. Essentially, it's just more efficient than the hoe and the axe. Mostly the axe, because it doesn't seem to want to work on normal, like, dirt, like turning it into farmland, so it was a little difficult to get used to. But the reason why I have the pickaxe set up this way is because we have Imperial 2, which increases gem drops when mining. So when we're mining these things, we have a higher chance to get multiple of them from each individual one, which is great, because then potentially we can get better and better stuff from there. So we essentially just need to mine for a bit, and I should probably get sounds back on. Perfect. Okay, the game sounds seem to be back up. I don't know why they keep cutting out, but it just seems to be just an audio issue or how I'm setting this up. But, you know, it is what it is. Regardless, essentially what we need to be doing is working through different parts. And we need to actually start working on the one block and mining that, because we're not going to get a ton of progress unless we're mining that. The other thing that I wanted to do is I think we can combine that with a hopper. So I need a little more iron, but for now we're going to chuck you in there. And this is going to be where we're going to put the melon seeds, and pumpkin seeds is in the botany pots because it's just going to be a lot easier for us to get them like that. So let's get ourselves a couple more chests. Simple. We can get ourselves... The rich soil, is that going to... Uh-oh. Rich soil, is that going to be in the botany pots? Good. It's not actually that good. Interesting. What about in here? Dirt is minus 0.12 versus the rich soil is minus... Okay. So the rich soil is 1 second difference versus this, which is 5. So it's 5 times better than normal. Which means that to get rich soil, which we need organic compost for, we need rotten flesh, we need bone meal, or we need tree bark and bone meal. Tree bark is when we cutting board stuff with, I guess a mattock will work, a machete. Okay. So when we cut the bark off of stuff with a cutting board. Okay, is there a way for us to get straw? Okay, we can mill rice, so potentially having rice be another one of things that we end up taking care of. Okay, rice bales gives us the rice pan. These give us the rice. Rice is what you put into the botany pots to give us the rice panicle. So we gotta get the rice in there, which means that we need an additional botany pot, which means we need more iron still, which means we still need to go the encased fan route, which means we need to go through the tinkers. So, tinker... We need to go through the normal route. Is there a new recipe for these things, or are they the same? Looks like they are perfectly the same, which is great, because it means that we can do this just like normal. The only issue being that we don't have a ton of sand. Is there a way to get renewable sand? There probably is, and it's probably by utilizing... By chuck gravel into mill, it gives flint. Okay, if I chuck it into crushing wheels, it gives sand. Is there a way to get sand some other method? Or daisies, milling, sandstone. Okay. Other than that, a dungeon chest or a mechanism crusher, which a mechanism crusher is going to be the basic control circuits. We need steel, which means we need to get ourselves a good old-fashioned little bit of an energized smelter. And then in addition to that, we also are going to need a metallurgic infuser. So, for those things, I think we can work on those as well, but for now, I think that getting ourselves a cutting board is going to be very helpful. Get our cutting boards set up, then we can back out. I think this works. Okay, there we go, there we go, there we go, perfect, and we get 9 more straw. I also have straw bales, means we have extra straw regardless. What else do I need for the organic is the real thing. Because ultimately I think that, okay, we need bone meal, which is just going to be, what, a composter? I don't, so organic compost, we need bone meal, which comes from centrifuge, cutting board on meats, or I forget how to make a compost. How do I forget how to make a compost? That's crazy. just make sure we have all of those. Composter. Compost. Okay, perfect. Sorry for bumping the mic. That probably sound. Sorry about that. Get all of you guys, and then we get you guys, and then we get our composter, which is great. Don't. So we need. I guess I can put excess seeds in here. We don't need a ton of extra seeds. Don't want to break that, so don't. Okay, we got bone meal, our first piece of bone meal. Just gotta make sure that we don't overdo a ton of stuff. Okay, we have 2 bone meal, which is how much we need for 1. I can use most of the resources that we already have, but what I should probably do... No, we're doing this before I set up any botany pots. I want to make sure that I do it right, so we're going to do it once we have all the stuff that we need in order to do it right. Also, shoot, that's a bummer. And I need to make sure that we're not losing the bone meal. Why do I keep letting the bone meal fly away? There we go. Perfect. Just get you, we get you guys, we get turn the cabbage into bone meal. For it to turn into that. Okay, cabbage is really good. I guess because of the biomass, but potatoes are really good. Potatoes and cabbage are really good at turning into, which is great because it means that I worry a ton about that stuff. But wheat's still really good too, so we just gotta keep going like we have been. Get everything we need to. There we go, and we're at 13, which means that we need... Okay, so we have the dirt for it. What else do I need? I need the tree bark. So what we can do is, offhand, we just bark like this continuously, because I mean, we're gonna just turn all of this into normal wood anyway, so there's no reason to not take the bark off. Do this the entire time, and then yes, we can just chuck that in there. Now we've got a bunch of wood. Oh no. Also turn it into organic compost, and then plop it up, 1 in the water, 1 on top of it, 1 to the side, and 1 like that. Is sped up by sunlight, adjacent water. Adjacent activators are more compost, rich soil, mushroom. Okay. But essentially this will compost and then we can take care of that. I do think though that getting the rice set up first is going to be the most efficient for us right now. So I do think that getting that set up first is going to be what I'm going to do right now. Let's just do that. Not worry about it. Get ourselves the rice set up. This will fill up with rice eventually. I mean, hopefully. Probably should place chests like that. This one should be placed like that, just so that we get extra space for everything to store. And now it's time to mine. So we are at Hardened Stone, which is from Silent Gems 3, which potentially could be a good resource. Okay, it does drop, which is interesting. So, comparatively, it is a obsidian level chipping synergistic with incredibly high durability. So potentially we could combine that with a gold and something else in order to make something very cool. I don't fully know exactly what of Silent Gems things are the most efficient or best ways of doing certain things. But what I do know is that this is pretty cool. So you need to make sure that I'm gathering certain materials, like the granites and other stuff. I also want to make sure that this stuff is properly, safely stored, so coal is going to go in there from now on. And then the rubies and garnets and everything else are going to go in here. Hardened stone will keep... What other stones do I actually need in Underground, I need to get diorite as well, which... Okay, that's not too bad. Oh, we got the full classic set of gems now, I guess. And chaos crystals, which I don't know exactly what those are gonna do, but that's quite nice. I know I still do need a better... or a better shovel, but that's not the biggest of my concerns right now. I really want to make sure that we're going to fully, like, just take care of most of what we need. But most of that's going to require us to get a bunch of iron, so sure that everything's in the right spaces, and we're able to actually properly go through everything. Okay. I mean, we're getting a good amount of everything that we need, so I'm happy with it. Probably should start making the repairing kits, although I don't necessarily know how efficient that is going to be for us right now, but I mean, it's kind of worth it if we really want to be as efficient as possible. Getting a repair kit here would be big. I don't fully know what port is going to be useful for, but I do know that it's going to be rather useful, so we should probably make sure that I have a good handle on where it is, because we're gonna need not a considerable amount of it, because I do think I know that I knew what it was used for at some point. That's all that I really know. I just know that it was useful at some point for Silent Gear stuff, but I don't remember exactly what for. I think it was for like just an add-on bonus thing. I mean, who really cares, honestly? This is quite interesting. We're just kind of vibing with it, chilling, going down, just getting a bunch of the ores that we need, which is great. I do wish there was a little more iron and a little less of all of the different silent gem ores, just because, I mean, we need iron, but I'm not really... It's not too big of a deal that I'm going to, like, complain about it, because honestly, getting all these cool gems is going to be really helpful for making good tools that are consistent and last for a while, so not unhappy in the slightest. Just a little bit interesting. There we go. Extra rubies, extra inferium. Just getting a bunch of extra materials. It's perfect. Although, one thing that I probably should be doing is gotta grab all of the gravel from you guys, and I gotta refill them up. So, we get even more gravel, because it is going to be useful for us in the future to get iron and other stuff. And I know this because it just makes sense. It just makes sense. I don't fully know why. I just know that if we use the fan with water and we put it on a bunch of different crushed stuff, like the crushed ores, it gives us even higher rates of stuff, which is what we need in order for us to go through this process in a efficient manner. But right now it's not gonna go too crazy, so we can take it a little bit slow. The main issue is that I need a bunch of iron for the quests. I guess isn't too big of a deal. It's just like, I don't even grab all of you guys. Thankfully the compost stuff is going rather quickly, so I don't have to worry a ton about that. Getting extra gravel, extra coal, fun. Grass, interesting. I mean, cool, silverfish, monster hunter. We got monster hunter. That's, you know, that's a big achievement. Now we're just getting another silverfish. Interesting. Okay. I mean, that's cool. It's cool and all. I just don't really have too big of a, like, care about what ends up spawning. I'm mostly just looking... Stone, like, didn't know those guys could spawn. Interesting. You know that I just need so much iron. And at this point, I probably should actually be working on the team stuff, because I do think that that's going to be more efficient than us just mining through more of this. So I think we're going to do that. Let's just do it. Honestly, screw it. I'm not going to care too much anymore. We're at 4 rice pan. Great, because it means that we'll get to make even more of the stuff. But regardless. Okay, so if we have 16, I have 11 sand, 13 sand. So that means that we do not have nearly enough to get a ton of grout. But as of right now, there's no real way for us to get infinite levels of sand. So for now, this is just how it's gonna have to go. Which is fine, it's just a little unfortunate that it has to be this way. But what I do think we can do in addition to it is we can... That's good. The rich soil is growing. We could harvest, we could do a harvest, which is probably the best bet for right this second, while we're waiting for the sun to come back up. And then we can work on and look through the quests and stuff that we actually need to do. Because I do think that looking through them is going to give us a little bit more clarity than we have right this second for what we need to be focusing on and working towards. Because I do want to make sure that we're not going like too far in one direction that doesn't really matter. So let's look at the quests. So we've got getting started, we got flatland, which is not much we can really do here. Farming begins, we get beetroot seeds, normal seeds, we get an extra botany pot, which is great. Then in farmland we need beetroots, we need onions, potatoes, wheat, bamboo. Most of this stuff I don't know exactly how we're going to get it, but wait, we get mystical white petals and then we get the pure daisy to purify stuff. Wait, we just do that already. That's actually crazy. Because the petal apothecary, it gives us... That's why it's telling us to go through the... Okay. Okay, gotcha. So, what we can do is... Because these are all petal blocks, we can use that coupled with a bunch of just cobblestone stuff in order to get ourselves a petal apothecary. Which is great, because then we can start working on Botania stuff that I thought was going to take us a lot longer. Which is why I was saying, oh, well, that's not going to be a thing that we're going to have to deal with. Wait, where did... I just used one of the white petals, didn't I? That's great. Yup. Wow. Okay, how am I going to get those? I need white petal blocks. Don't have those. Great. I may have screwed up a little bit. So, I don't know if we have to reset off that, but that's a bummer, honestly. That's real annoying. Is there a way to get back to a certain place? So, we've got the OB analyzer. At 1 block. Okay, so, block catalyst, X nano generator, OB maker, OB remover. Okay. 1 block placement block, the generator. Gaia Spirit and Mana Lens is the issue. The Mana Lens is the bigger issue. So we need Mana Steel for that, which is dungeon chest stuff, or Arc Furnace recycling, which I'm gonna ever really want to make. Wait, we can get floral fertilizer, can't we? Yeah, we can. Because all we need for that is dye, and we can get dye from beetroot. Can't we? I think we can, and we can get infinite beetroot from farmland. So, oh, we got dirt seeds as well, which is great. Excuse me. Geez. Okay, we need beetroot. And then extra beetroot seeds. so I guess we just start farming some beetroot. I mean, no reason not to, really. But that's a little bit of a bummer. Yeah, I mean, I've made those kinds of mistakes before, but dang, that was smart of me. Regardless, I know I'm gonna need stacks of most of those different plants, so I guess we'll compost the seeds. Just because it's easier for us to compost the seeds than it is for us to compost everything. Because, I mean, we need a full stack of each of them, so probably the most effective way for us to do this. And then, yeah, I mean, if the grout is seared bricking, then shoot, we need more sand. So I need sand anyway. Because I need glass for the melter. So I was being dumb anyway. Oh, I need the crusher again. So I need to go through the full mechanism. Which is going to be osmium. We need... How many osmium? So we need 1 osmium for that. We need 2 osmium for that. So 3 osmium, 4 osmium, 5, 6, 7 osmium. So we'll do a full 8 smelts. Smelt 8 of them. Just so we get 1 full charcoal worth of stuff. I can also make the seared heater real quick right now. And the reason why I'm doing this, by the way, is to get the plates in order to make the propeller for the fan. Because you can either cast them or you can press them. Which I guess I could just make a press, but I think we need to do tinker stuff anyways. And I also just want an excuse to do tinker stuff, so that's what I'm gonna do. Shoot, we won't have power. So there's actually no real reason for us to do. You know what? I'm smart with that. Yeah, wow. Okay. Let's just chuck that in here, why don't we? And we can make, what does a mechanical press cost? 2 small cogwheels, andesite casing. So, probably should take the andesite and the other stuff for gate and put it in. So we need 3, and then we got the nuggets, we got the iron nuggets. Okay. So 1, then we need 2 of you, and then I need a block of iron. So that's gonna be 9 of our iron, which is tough right now, but that's fine. It's how much it needs, so I'm not gonna really complain about that. I also am gonna grab the rich soil because thankfully it is all complete. So what we can do now, got our 6 rich soil, and we could in theory do that and take care of it that way. But instead, I think that what we're gonna do is just kind of chill for now. Wait a second for our iron to properly go. And I should probably make the andesite casing, I guess. So we need logs and wood, which is not too hard. So that real quick. I only need 1 of the andesite casings for it right now, so we'll do that. And I mean, hey, it's not very difficult to make, thankfully. I don't know why I hesitated so much, but at least what I can do is I can use a large cogwheel into a smaller cogwheel. That's going to be too low, I think. No, it's going to be perfect because it's right above. Yeah, so this guy's spinning faster, which is great. And it's going to be perfect for us, because now what we can do is we can take that, we turn it into a block of iron. Then we take it, we turn it into a mechanical press, we plop that down, and then now we just need more iron, because we need a fan propeller, which is 4 iron plates. So I need 4 more of our iron to be turned into that, and then I need my andesite alloy. And for the fan, I'm going to need a cogwheel, 2 of the smaller ones, and an andesite casing. It's not too bad. Then I'm gonna need a bucket of water and also potentially some more of the other stuff, but it should be fine, right? So if I chuck all of them down, how many will it press at once? Will it do all of them? Nope, it does one at a time. Okay. Press goes, boink. Wait. Did it just... Okay, it did all 3, but it looked like there was an extra one. I was very confused of whether we got 3 for 4 or 4 for 3 or whatever happened. But thankfully, we get our propeller and then our encased fan. And the faster that the stuff spins, the better. So ideally we want another smaller... But if I plop this guy back... I can't. Okay. If I plop you here... And then we turn it like so. And then I put a... Okay, we can break that torch, we can plop it back there. I need a fan. I need another fan. Which is not too bad. And what I'll also do is I'll make a little platform back here. And I can always add more water wheels if need be. But, so, then have the cog there, the fan here. I'll need to adjust whether it's blowing or pushing. Or whether it's blowing or sucking. Blowing or pushing, that's both the same thing, right? Okay, we need another couple of the alloy. The issue is I need... Okay, let's just mine a bit, just so that we can hopefully get all the stone that we need. Because otherwise it's going to take a lot longer for us to get the amount of andesite and everything that we need. So let's just mine for a bit, see what happens, see if we get anything great. If we do, if we don't, it's fine. It doesn't matter. We just need to get 16 of each of the different diorite and andesite and other stuff, so thankfully it doesn't seem like they're too rare. It just seems like they're a little bit rare compared to ores, which is surprising because usually when you go underground there's more stone there than there is ores, but I mean, fair enough. Let's make sure that we're depositing stuff so we don't end up like losing anything. I'm very concerned about potentially losing some of the good materials, like the gems, which potentially I could just clear up my inventory and it'd be easier, but I mean, this is fine. Let's just do this. So we get a bunch more of the materials, and then we'll be able to continue along as normal, just mining away. We're at 11, 13, and 9. So once we hit the 16 in andesite, which is probably going to happen first because it looks like andesite's the most common, then we'll be able to go through and take care of that as it should be. I do think, though, that we can get different resources from different encased fan things, like different products for different things that do actually matter. And what I mean by that is, like, I think sand gives gold, whereas gravel gives iron, which is cool. Although gold is not, like, super important to us right now. It's impactful to a sense that it's worth optimizing it in a way that we can get a little bit more. Because I do think it's useful for some later game, like build stuff. But I'm not 100% certain, so like don't hold me to it. It might be though. It usually is. with these kinds of things, it's just kind of vibing. We're just chilling, absolutely relaxing with it, going through. If you guys want to see me stream this, let me know, and I might start. I'm just very interested right now in recording and getting... Ooh, we got to Overworld. Okay. Let's deposit most of our stuff. So we can get everything... I mean, I'll read through the page, because it's probably going to be more explanatory than I will be to just read through the quest page for the Overworld. So, Overworld. Rebuilding the world, building gadgets, we got that. Oh, I mean, there's nothing, and apparently there's just nothing here, so that's fine. Screw it, I guess. There's just no real reason for us to have to worry. But at least there's sand, which is nice. No. Thankfully. Okay, so we've got a llama and we've got a donkey. I don't think they can interbreed. It'd be very interesting if they could, but I do not think that that's a current possibility. So right now we just need to keep mining, keep going at it. We got another thing of water, which I don't necessarily think is... Okay. That's fine. Blue ice is fine. More of the corundium, for the terracotta, the red sand, another dirt chest. Void stone, we got a cow, okay. I'm gonna need a lot more chests to go through just storing all of the random materials that we're gonna get, but... I mean, hey, at least we got a cow now, so if we get one more cow, we'll be able to breed stuff. I wanted the witch's loot, I just didn't want the animals behind me to be passing away, so it's more worth... Shoot, I could have used that mycelium. But I think I can make a silk touch thing. Which, you know, we probably should do if we're going to. So, let's chuck most of this stuff into here. Grab most of that, we can chuck the extra random stuff in there. Stuff goes there. And it's agate, isn't it? Silky. So if we add silk touch to harvest tools. So if I make a... So silky, hardened stone, and then we add... Is it phospholite or imperial? No, it's gonna be... Phospholite adds the big brittle, but it's fine. Because the whole point of this is to make a pickaxe that is not going to have to be super worrisome. We can also get like 4... tool rod is 2 sticks for tool rods. Okay, cool. Rough rod. Crude. Durability, rarity. Okay, interesting. What about if I do it this way? It's just it's just better. What? That's so weird. So if I make sticks like normal, they're bad. Holy, that's a lot of phantoms. Okay, we got our first phantom. We got a soul gem. Water and earth. Okay, interesting. What do I use it for? Soul urn? Strange. Okay, interesting. I don't know if I should be interested or not. I don't know, I'm very concerned about the amount of phantoms up in the sky right now. It's a little bit much. Probably should chuck those in. Probably should chuck that in. Well, then what we can do is we can chuck that in there. We got our silk touch to that. So we got our silk touch enabled, which is great because now we don't have to worry about it too. The issue is just how many phantoms. What the... Okay, there's one coming down. They're just waiting for me to put myself in a vulnerable position. Like, I don't know what I can realistically do about them. Because, like, I mean, I guess I could make a bow, but I just couldn't make arrows. There's just no reason. Like, leave me alone, please. I mean, I guess we can potentially farm stuff from them. I just don't know what is worth getting phantoms right now, because phantom membrane, I mean, I don't think we're getting an elytra anytime soon. Just like potentially, I don't really see that as something that is coming, you know, like within the first couple episodes of this. Maybe I'm wrong, who knows, but like, come on now. What? So running slightly out of food, so... Okay, that's... Okay, we've got a stack of potatoes now. Got that. The phantoms are gonna start to burn soon, which is great. That's our singular llama, so let's just try and get you back onto. Okay. Just gotta watch out, because there's so many phantoms. Okay, we got the beetroots, we got extra beetroot seeds, which means we're starting to get dyes, which is great. I do also need a stack of beetroots, so that's a thing I gotta make sure that I'm keeping my mind prepared for. Also, what I think I'm gonna do, because we still do not have the stuff that more andesite alloy, is I'm going to do that to get 16 andesite, so then I can use it to make andesite alloy, so I don't have to worry about it. Day 9, cool. Okay, 4 more andesite alloy. Great, because we did 1. Chuck the andesite in there. Got that, and now I need 8 buttons because we need the small... Wait, was it the small cogwheels that I need? Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, so. Is this blowing or sucking? It's sucking. Okay. Okay, so we need to reverse that, which thankfully is really easy because these mini cogwheels are great. So now it's blowing, which is perfect, because what we'll be able to do is using... How do I make trapdoors again? It's that, right? Yep, it is. Okay, that's what I remembered. So... that's... use trapdoors, and... then we also use... it... That doesn't work anymore, I don't think. But I could just make... Yeah, I'll just make another set of trapdoors. Why not? Because there was a time when you could utilize just... Ah, well, it doesn't matter. It's fine. So we've got that. We've got the wacky washy. And now we get ourselves some good old-fashioned... I gotta... Okay, you guys are really wanting to get in my way. Holy... Okay, there we go. Now we get ourselves some good old-fashioned washing. We'll turn this into dough, hopefully. And what we can also do is get a bunch of iron now. So let's just plop that down, tuck that in there, tuck that in there. Over here we can grab the stacks of gravel out of here. Those guys, and also just chuck in a couple more. So we can get infinite cobble through just sifting through dirt like this, which is great, because it means that we can just get infinite cobble, which is perfect. The thing that we're doing right now, though, is getting ores and everything else that we need for free. So, got that. I need to re-pick up one of these guys, actually, so we can get that quest accomplished. Because now we need crushed iron ore. But if I walk over here, we'll get a bunch of iron nuggets, which is great, because it's just free iron. I'm gonna add the flint over here, too. We can hook up the dough, and now we don't need to eat our melon slices, so those can get turned into seeds. We've got this already, which means that we can start just composting the living daylights out of our good old-fashioned fun potatoes, which is great, because it means that we don't have to worry about carrying and holding on to potatoes anymore. Honestly, I'm happy that we're at the point in the game that we are, because it's kind of fun. We're just kind of chilling, going through the motions. I do think we can... Oh, beetroot can't be more beetroot seeds, but okay, that makes sense, it's fair. So now what we need to do is we're going to take our iron ore. We're going to take the gravel out as well as the cobble. We are going to crush all of that iron ore and turn it into crushed iron ore. We're going to do the same with, I think, lead works too. Yep. Do it with lead. Don't know if osmium works. It does. Okay. Copper I know works because it's from Create. Gold works too, which is great. So we can also utilize tin works. Okay. Silver probably works. Yep. Silver works. Yellowite works. Dang. Yellowite turns into uranium. I guess is fair. Uranium turns into uranium as well, which is great. So all of our ores will just turn into the crushed ore variants, which is great because we can just do that for a bit. And I still need the floral fertilizer, which means I need extra dye. So for the most part, I mean, hey, it's not the end of the world. We're doing fairly good. Happy about it. I do think that poisonous potato we can use in the composter, which is great. And really have a need for pumpkins, so I think we'll compost the pumpkins too. Perfect. And okay, let's see what else we can really do in the quests. So we need that. We need the diorite, which is just nether quartz and stuff. Yep. Nether quartz is of course nether quartz stuff for washing soul sand, which is interesting. Granite is nether quartz and diorite, so I mean, hey, this is the main thing that's going to be a little bit of an annoyance, which thankfully it doesn't look like we'll have to deal with a ton of, but you think that removing everything from that guy is going to be helpful? Because then we can get to working through our great reserves of copper, and then I'm going to start doing smaller materials. This one. So, okay, it looks like that's all washed, which is great, because now what we can do is we can just casually combine all of that into iron ingots, which is great, because now we have 13 iron ingots. We can submit that guy. We can also turn that into a block of iron and submit one of them, because we also need to submit the mana lens, which means that we need mana stuff for mana steel, which is great because we need mana infusion. So we need a mana pool, which the living rock stuff. But we also need the flowers for it. We also need the rune of wrath, which means that we need altar as well as rune of earth and water, which means water and earth again. And also, yeah, snow and a cake, which is great, because that's a lot of stuff for us to take care of. But what? You know, interesting pumpkin placement, I guess. Fair enough. I need to breed more animals, which is one of the issues that I'm facing right now. is that we need to breed animals. But there's not enough animals spawning for us to be able to breed. And they also keep running off the edges. Because no matter what I do, they don't want to stay on the island. Which is fine. It's just a little annoying when I'm trying to achieve getting 2 of certain animals so that I can breed them, so that I can get that quest completed. Because that's the current issue that I'm facing. But we can get our carrot stack, which is great. Get ourselves some extra fun little composting doohickeys, otherwise known as fun little pieces of bone meal. Which is great, because, I mean, we need plenty of bone meal. But 17, and we can put the stone knife back there. We can also put the cogwheels back there. I want to keep everything relatively concise because I don't think we can go crazy when it comes to I don't think we can go too crazy when it comes to certain things yet. And by that I mostly mean just like storage. I don't think there's a storage network system thing that we can go to yet, but I mean, I could be wrong. No, we need to make a stone sword, so let's just do that. Why don't we? Holy, that almost flung me off of the thing when I was trying to open up a chest. That would have been annoying. Okay, we got a stone sword. Now I need an iron level sword. Is that not an iron level sword? It's a tier 3 sword, so no, I don't think it is. Okay, interesting. I mean, other than the fact that it's also a katana and not a sword, but I mean, that shouldn't be too big of a deal, right? I forget how big the like hitboxes of some of these mobs are, because they're actually massive. Fair enough, I guess. Chuck the nuggets into here. Copper we'll keep in there as well. Iron we can store in there. I mean, it's mostly just going to be about getting it fully taken care of, because it's going to take a while. But I do think that grabbing our bread, and then I'm just going to offhand it, and I think that's going to be the end of this episode. I mean, it's been a good, 55-minute recording, so I think that that's going to be good. I hope you guys enjoyed. In between episodes, I'm probably just gonna farm and also mine a little bit to hopefully get some stuff, but see you guys next time. GG's, peace, have a great day, and I will see you guys next one. Bye-bye.